Hello, and welcome to episode 14 of Remove Film from Tray. Subjective is our business. I'm your host, Ex Mortis, Slushie.
Hello.
Count.
Hello.
We're here again.
Hey, yeah, it's another week. We're here. What's wrong with Happy Link Japan?
You know, they just have a limited selection. They got, it's the shipping situation. It's unfortunate. You'll be lucky to see that stuff within 2 months.
I mean, I believe it, but back in the day, in the 2000s, it was the site.
Yeah, I've ordered from them.
Okay.
Which Revoltech did you get, by the way?
A Gurren Lagann, back when that show was first airing.
I never saw that.
Gurren Lagann?
Gurren Lagann. He just said it weird.
Gurren Lagann. You know the show.
That's how you say it.
The show with the Big Mech, the robot. He's got the sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann. You don't know what mango salsa is. You say things weird.
Hey, I've had it now. Well, no,
Yeah.
I've had pineapple.
I don't think
How
I've
was
had
it?
pineapple.
Did you like it?
We don't have
that
much
was
to
really
talk
good.
about this week, folks.
Yeah, Anarchy.
We watched fucking Alien and Aliens. They're great movies. Go watch.
They're great. They're fantastic movies, so it makes it hard to pick them apart because they're just amazing.
I had never seen them before. That's why we watched them.
Yeah, we may be entering the catching Slushie up arc of our movie watching career. Not sure.
Well, now that we're
adrift
done-
without Puppet Master.
Yeah, now that we're done with like one of the most inconsistent series on the planet, we need to watch some good stuff.
Charles Band, save me, please. Make another Puppet Master. I'm dying here.
So let's see. I've lost my text file. There it is. I've lost my fiance. Slushie's watching Seinfeld.
Yeah, Slushie, can you give us a Seinfeld update?
Yeah, I haven't watched an episode in about a week.
Oh, come on.
I watched through the first season and then like the first 2 or 3 episodes of the second season. It's really boring. And kind of not funny at all.
Was there a marked
and-
increase in quality in the second season? Like, could you tell it was a new season?
Yes, I could tell it was a new season. The writing and dialogue was a bit snappier.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like everyone found their groove. But the characters are all such assholes that I kind of hate watching it.
You just...
And I know that's the point.
I never really felt that way, though. I don't know.
They're so-
Maybe I'm an asshole.
They're not as
No.
assholes as like Always Sunny characters.
I'd rather
Those are
hang out
huge
with, like,
psychopaths.
George than any of the friends. Those guys suck.
Yeah, like I just mean like
Yeah, I'd rather
it's-
hang out with George or Chandler. I'm gonna hang out with George. There's no way.
they're not mean to each other necessarily, except for when Jerry doesn't want Elaine to move into that apartment the one time. But he
Don't
got
remember
lucky and
that.
that worked out in the end. But it was just like the way they treat their romantic prospects is strange. But
Well,
I've
that's
also
the-
just never understood straight people and how they like handle relationships.
I think
so,
that's a show thing.
yeah.
You gotta have your.
And
act
I
for the
also
week.
think that's just like a very 90s thing, you know.
Chinese. Raptor in the chat. The Chinese restaurant. Is that the one where they're waiting for the movie and they're trying to get to prognosis negative? Or is that a totally different episode?
Is that the same episode where they're waiting to be seated at the table?
And it's got James Hong? Doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good episode, yes.
That's apparently in season 2. I haven't gotten that far.
Okay.
Raptor also says Joey is cool. Yeah, Joey's probably the best of the friends, and he would be the one if I had to hang out with one of them. It'd be Joey.
I'd hang out with Phoebe.
So we didn't
Phoebe-
watch a
No.
lot of movies. this week. This is probably the lowest amount of movies we've ever watched, and on top of not really just having much to say. But we did watch Despiser, thanks to MDB 100, friend of the show.
Yeah, and I forgot we watched this until Morris brought it up before the show started.
This is a weird movie.
Yeah.
We all watched this, right? More or less.
Yeah.
I was going in and out of
Kinda.
on the porch with my cat, but I had my phone. This is a movie about a guy, a really normal guy, who's sucky and he's like a graphic designer. And he dies and goes to purgatory, purgatory is entirely like CG. There's a lot of CG in this movie, and normally I would be against that, but it's so shitty. Like, it looks like Beast Wars.
Yeah.
But then it just has live actors in it. But also
It's like if they tried to make Captain America or Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow, but with 1/100th of the budget,
like a Dell computer or something, rather than an SGI workstation.
To be fair, it came out before Sky Captain. This was 2003, and for the time,
yeah, and
it's
Sky
impressive
Captain
it
was
made it all.
2004.
I thought
it wasn't that big of
right.
a difference.
The
I meant the budget wise, though.
the camera, the shots and stuff, and the composition of this was not like a poorly made movie. It was just made very cheaply and very obviously by one guy, with a computer and a vision. It's an interesting movie.
Budget.
High concept, yeah. Maybe I couldn't tell how Christian it was.
It didn't seem incredibly Christian. It had Christian elements, but it didn't have a Christian message. It felt like
the premise.
Yeah, it was just playing off the Christian mythology, but I don't think it was really pushing a Christian agenda.
It's like as Christian as Constantine.
It's just if you die, if you're not with God and you die in a heroic way, you get to go to purgatory and use guns to fight guys wearing trash bags.
Right.
And so there's a World War II kamikaze pilot and all these other characters on the good guy team. It's Painkiller-esque. I don't know, just a interesting movie. I guess this guy has this whole web series called Malice or something, and that wins awards for web series. He's still doing this CGI human
I wouldn't have forgotten any better
fantasy thing. Yeah, I don't remember what is the guy's name. I don't know.
This is a movie I should hate given how shitty it all is, but there's something captivating about it, and especially for the time. And
Philip Cook.
It's kind of interesting.
Philip J. Cook. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
and
it's not bad.
I think it's just on YouTube, maybe illicitly. So check it out.
Also on Tubi.
Oh, is it on Tubi?
Yeah, check it out on Tubi.
Check it out. What was next? I've lost my thing again. Yeah, we watched Shin Kamen Rider, another very new. We're just getting newer and newer on the podcast. This came out
courtesy of our friend of the show, Cyraptor, screened Shin Kamen Rider for us. I loved it.
The least best of the Shin trilogy. IMO.
It felt to me kind of going through the motions, kind of like this episode of the podcast. All right, I did Godzilla, I did Ultraman, I guess I got to do Kamen Rider. All right.
I don't know. I really liked it. I just did. I like all three though, so it's hard for me to rank them.
Yeah, when I said what I said, I don't think it's bad, and I don't dislike it. I do like it a lot. It's just the other two were better. That's all.
I feel like I almost disliked it by the end. I don't know. It had a very, very strong start to me.
Yes, it did.
Just like the idea of like Kamen Rider, like it's very gory at the start, and that drops off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But like more so, like Ultraman. I haven't seen Shin Godzilla, so I can't say. But Ultraman was like
that soon.
Shin Ultraman was like just like 4 hyper condensed episodes of Ultraman, like remade, basically, across the whole series. This is like the first 4 episodes of Kamen Rider, hyper condensed, and it's like I don't know. It's just not that. I feel like they could have like spaced out what the movie covered a little better, and they kind of like squeezed in Kamen Rider 2.
He kind of came in a little bit later.
It just feels like too fast for its own good, and like I don't know. It just feels like he tried to do Ultraman again, but like it's, to me, it wasn't as interesting. The remake element wasn't as interesting as Ultraman.
I was very happy with it.
It kind of makes me wonder how much Hideki Anno like actually cares about Kamen Rider in the way that he very clearly did with Ultraman and Godzilla. Not to say that
he cares about it.
Well, yeah, not to say that he's like indifferent and was phoning it in or anything. I just mean like I feel like watching this, that Kamen Rider maybe wasn't as big a part of his childhood as Godzilla and Ultraman were.
Maybe. He probably just views them all differently.
Yeah.
Godzilla's like an event.
Yeah.
And then you have your weekly Kamen Rider and Ultraman, but then Ultraman's been like this long-standing, decade-spanning thing, and Kamen Rider is too. But there's always a new Ultraman, but they're all kind of the same. And the Kamen Riders have become so different from what they were, while Ultraman still is kind of the same. So maybe he's just really honing in on this one era.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say?
It does. I mean, we've been. I don't think we've discussed this on the podcast. I don't know if we said this when we talked about Black Sun, but like old Kamen Rider was always had like a horror element, and that's
which this movie does.
Yes, this movie does, and that's, I think, Count's saying that that's sort of like gone in new Kamen Rider,
right? And the motorcycles are gone. New Kamen
for the
Rider
most
sucks.
part.
I don't like it. Except for Black Sun. I mean, that's a new Kamen Rider, but it's not new Kamen Rider.
I feel like, yeah, but like I think Shin here, like it starts with the horror element, and then it kind of like veers into like anime bullshit territory with the whole thing about Prana. Like that didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like it goes too far in the direction of like something, just some generic science fiction anime, and it doesn't.
See, that's the stuff that I should hate, and I don't like it, but I'm kind of just ignoring it for the spectacle.
Right.
That's just me personally. Like I'm putting that aside.
Right.
Just for this, because I like the outfits a lot. I like the fighting a lot. I just was really entertained all the way through. Aside from what you're talking about with the weird, also purgatory-ish bullshit.
Right. Slushie, I remember, made the comment while we were watching it that they wished the whole thing had been CGI because like the movie jumps into like heavy CGI fights and it's pretty jarring and it doesn't look that great.
Yeah.
They're like DBZ midair fights.
Like, the CGI was about the same quality as in Shin Ultraman, but it just looked a lot better in Shin Ultraman.
Well, I mean, I remember not thinking it looked great in Shin Ultraman.
Yeah, the CG in the whole trilogy is not that good. Like even in Shin Godzilla, it's not that good, but it's entertaining. You have to let yourself kind of forgive it a little bit, I guess.
It's a fine film if you're into old Kamen Rider. I think Black Sun as a piece of media was better and more successful. But like the beginning of this was really cool.
I love Black. So
the best or the one thing that Shin Kamen Rider has over Black Sun is that they drive the motorcycles fast, which they do not do in Black Sun.
Yeah, I had forgotten that when they had like the six tailpipes shooting flame, I had sort of forgotten that was something that original Kamen Rider did. So, like, me and Slushie went back and watched the first episode. Maybe someday I'll get past, like, I've watched original Kamen Rider to like episode 4, which is basically what this movie covers. So
I skipped around, like, because it's a weekly show that, you know, you go insane if you're trying to binge that.
Yeah.
Should
we talk about Airwolf on here? That's basically a movie.
We should, yeah.
I forgot about that.
I do want to say though, I read the first few chapters of the Kamen Rider manga.
Yeah.
And like in Shin Kamen Rider, when they're in Kamen Rider form, they have, or when they're in Henshin form, when they show their human face, it's like got these weird lines and scars and stuff.
Yeah.
That was there in the manga.
Yeah.
Not in the show, but it was there in the manga, so it was interesting to see that they had pulled that from the manga.
So, like, diverting from the plan a little bit, me and Slushie watched the first 2 episodes of Airwolf, which it's
Very
on Tubi.
When did you watch Airwolf?
Saturday, I think last Saturday.
Ernest Borgnine?
Yeah. And I think those 2
so
episodes are also available as Airwolf the movie. Yeah,
that
it's
sense.
It's really good. I haven't watched Airwolf since I was like 3, and I was super into it when I was 3, so it was just fun to like revisit. But like the first 2 episodes at least are like ridiculously high budget. Like they're really flying that helicopter around, and like stuff's really blowing up really big. It's cool. Jan Michael Vincent, good perform. Like he's a really like kind of pulpy hero. He's constantly treating this beautiful woman really poorly. And she's really into it. It's weird.
He very much seemed like one of the inspirations for Big Boss or Naked Snake specifically in Metal Gear Solid 3.
You and your Metal Gear again.
Well, like, how could you look at Stringfellow's cabin and not immediately think of the cabin scene from Metal Gear Solid 3?
Yeah.
Do I have to start watching Airwolf?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I'll be interested to like get into more episodes and see. Like, I remember the show having a lot of stock footage, and I hope it doesn't just all come from like this, you know. But it's like, it's cool. I don't know if you're into like pulpy, you know. It like, again, it just really felt like one of those like 20 plus small pulp novel series, you know, just like book 1, Airwolf, The Rise of Airwolf. Like,
hell yeah. Cool. Well, maybe I'll check out the first 2 episodes. Available now on Tubi.
Yeah. Unlike A-Team. A-Team not streaming anywhere. I also wanted to watch A-Team, but
it used to be on Tubi.
It's been on and off, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Count,
hit us up.
Do you want to talk about Billie Jean? Do you have anything to say about that?
I can talk about Billie Jean, absolutely.
I was kind of like, why did I wonder why Count watched this, but then I found the poster and I was like, oh yeah. I see why Count watched this.
That's okay. Okay, that's part of the reason why. I can explain myself a little bit. So my girlfriend
Legend
has
of Billie Jean, sorry. Should say the actual title.
My girlfriend, yeah, The Legend of Billie Jean. My girlfriend has a cousin. He's way more into film than I am, and he'll tweet what he's been watching all the time. And sometimes it's kind of crazy because we'll just watch the same movie, and then he will for some reason watch it, and it won't be new or anything. But this is one where he posted, I hadn't heard of it, and he ranked it very high. And so I was like, I guess I should watch this movie. That's Mean Old Pig on Twitter and Letterboxd. Follow him. He's great. So The Legend of Billie Jean has Helen Slater, who was the original Supergirl for the Supergirl movie that no one saw, including myself.
I forgot that existed.
So the two leads of this movie are Christian Slater and Helen Slater. They're not related, but they play.
Oh, they're
not? They're not related.
Okay.
They played brother and sister in the film. I thought they were brother and sister in real life.
In the film, they are not related.
That's funny.
Someone steals Christian Slater's motorcycle or moped, and then they try and steal it back. It ends up with them shooting the father of the guy who took the motorcycle. I know it's a moped. I keep saying motorcycle, but then they take off on the run, and they become outlaws. But then it's also like the police understand their plight, so they're not really trying to arrest and charge them. They just want to clear the air. And she ends up inspiring the whole community, and they say fair is fair a lot. And it's kind of a stupid but cute movie. And I think this would be great for a teenager, especially young teenage girls would probably really like this movie because it's better than like fucking Ferris Bueller. And it's, you know.
Almost anything is.
Yeah, it's kind of just like an enjoyable little romp. You think it's going to be, and this is from what Mean Old Pig said as well, you think it's going to be an exploitation movie, and it's not.
I came into this, I had it on in the background. We had just watched Aliens, and I wanted to play through Aliens TC for Doom, which we'll talk about later. So I missed most of this. But I came in at the end, I was like, damn, this looked like it would have been good. Mostly because of the Pat Benatar smash hit single Invincible, which they keep playing.
There was a lot of good music in this. Some Billy Idol, some, I'm trying to think who else. But just throughout, great music. It was shot really nicely. It's that classic 80s, like, if you want an 80s movie and you're tired of watching fucking Back to the Future and shit like that, just watch The Legend of Billie Jean. You'll enjoy it.
Tired of Back to the Future?
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
If you're tired of watching the same 3 80s movies for your 80s fix, maybe try something else, folks.
What are the 3 80s movies? Like Back to the Future, Goonies, and Ghostbusters?
I'd say so, yeah.
Maybe someone somewhere with brainworms is watching Ferris Bueller instead of one of the others.
Come on.
And
let's not get
you can't get tired of the Goonies, but like I'm tired of Back to the Future and Ghostbusters.
Tired of Ghostbusters? You don't like Blade Runner. We need to talk about that. No,
let's talk about it.
Why don't you like Blade Runner?
I don't know. I just don't like it. I've only seen it twice in my life. The last time was during my college years, and I just didn't like it. I don't know. I think it's kind of boring. The idea of, like, I don't give a fuck if a replicant's human or not. You're a robot. You don't have feelings. You're not human. You don't get no rights. Get out of here.
Jesus.
I don't think you really understood the point of that film.
I think I understand it perfectly well. Your memories aren't real. I don't care that you fucking had all these experiences. You're not real. You're synthetic.
We need to get you reading and watching more sci-fi shit, I guess.
Oh, I'm well aware of the concept. I hate it every time. The idea of like synthesoid and all that shit. Fuck off. You're a robot.
I just think it's a good movie. I don't know.
Well, I also just don't think it's a good movie.
All right. Well, covered that.
I like Harrison Ford. I like the future stuff. I should like it. The big Atari sign. I should love it. You know, I don't like it.
the set design, the special effects, the miniatures, on par with Alien. But before we get to Alien, you ready for the X-Men minute?
Yeah, I suppose I am.
Count, before the X-Men minute, I want you to promise me something.
Oh no, what?
Instead of ever playing Sonic Adventure again, I would just like you to play Snatcher all the way through.
It's like a point and click bullshit, isn't it?
It's not point and click, but it is an adventure game.
You point the cursor at words and click the cursor.
Like a visual novel.
No.
I think
just play it.
You'll like setting up for disaster here.
It's like Kojima bullshit, isn't it?
Are you going to tell me you don't like Metal Gear?
Slushie,
is this where we're going with this?
Slushie, come on.
What?
You think I don't like Metal Gear?
You'll like fucking Snatcher then, probably. Almost certainly.
I fucking love Metal Gear. You're just trying to get me to feel the plight of the robots, and I'm not. I refuse.
Well, don't worry, Snatcher. You won't have to worry about that with Snatcher.
I played the
Snatcher. You just shoot and kill them.
Played when you're riding and in Ground Zeroes, and you have to get the Snatchers. I did that.
Not the same.
All right, let's do X-Men.
Do you need a countdown?
Yes, please.
All right. 3.
Don't you want to team up with Sting from Dune?
3, 2, 1 minute.
Okay,
Image
the
1.
X-Men. Your all-new X-Men team consists of Talon, Sync, Prodigy, Cannonball, Frenzy, Dazzler, Jubilee, and the Juggernaut. This all happened. The vote happened at the Hellfire Gala this year. So we're very all excited to see our new X-Men.
Image 2.
Well, actually, it's just a joke because they're all dead. It turns out that Moira had come in with Nimrod, and they decided to kill all of Krakoa. So all your favorite mutants in X-Men are all dead. Except for your really favorite ones like Rogue and Wolverine. They're still alive. But most Dazzler died.
Image
Dazzler's
3.
Dazzler's like my favorite X-Men, and she had a really big fat ass that they were drawing her with, and now they're not doing that anymore. And here's Rogue. She's ripping apart Moira and McTaggart, and it's pretty fucking cool and gnarly. And so now we're done with the Krakoa era, which was like the shittiest era of X-Men, and everyone online loves it except for me. So I'm really happy that these X-Men, these muties, are getting what they deserve.
Cool. So, what's next for X-Men?
We don't know. They're all dead. Rogue was like, oh, 250,000 mutants are dead. So we're going to see what happens.
Didn't they do that before?
Well, before they lost their powers.
House of
now they're
M?
dead.
Well, yeah, but some of them died because losing their powers meant they would melt.
Yeah, well, Iceman in this melted. That was pretty sick too.
Right.
But the minute's over. We can talk about that later if we need to fill time.
Weird.
How did he melt? He's an Omega class mutant that can control molecular
but they got
that density and speed.
Magneto snapped his fingers, and
to figure that out, Slushie, you'll have to read the X-Men Hellfire Gala 2023 special, available now at your local comic shop.
It doesn't really seem.
That first image looked really gay.
Yeah, I
X-Men
also
is
got that
incredibly
impression.
gay.
Right, but like it seemed like they were doing a gay thing on
it's a
purpose.
gala. It's like is it gala or gala?
Not gay enough.
It doesn't seem right to me that Juggernaut would be ripped in half in that situation. Like it seems like Juggernaut might survive that.
He did survive that a little
okay.
bit, and then later on,
A little bit.
Since when is Juggernaut good?
He's been good.
The Krakoa
it's come
era,
and gone.
the shittiest era of X-Men, where all the villains decide to stop being villains.
Is there a bigger villain for them to team up with the good guys against?
Sometimes, I don't know. There's like space shit. Do you want me to go into it? I thought the minute's over.
The minute's over. Speaking of space shit, Alien. Slushie had never seen Alien and Aliens, and Count and I constantly quote Aliens. So,
of course.
We felt like it was time. Slushie, what did you think about Alien?
It was incredibly good. Maybe one of the best films I've seen in my life. The sets were amazing. I would love to see like what they were like in real life, because they were filming shit from so many different angles that they must have just built like a whole ass thing. I really I really loved the fact that everything was like still CRT monitors and everything looked chunky, and like it gave me the feeling that the ship was very cheaply made in universe.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
But very expensive in our universe.
Right. But like, you know,
Yeah.
these are blue collar workers.
Yeah.
This is their shit that's probably 30 to 50 years old that the company doesn't update because it would like drop profits by a small percentage in one quarter.
Yeah.
I always knew that, like, just from osmosis from different like things and people talking, cultural osmosis, that's what they call it, that there was this capitalism thing kind of in the background of every Alien thing. I didn't realize it was going to be such a large part of the film.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciated. It was very cool. It's too bad about the rest of the series being kind of weird because of capitalism.
Right. Well,
you haven't seen them. You might like them. I just think that there's a big dip in quality after Aliens.
do you want to just like jump back and forth? Do you want to jump?
Think
we might as well.
The easiest way.
I feel like these are so interconnected.
Slushie, what did you think about Aliens?
Not as good as Alien. Still very good. I finally understand most of the references that Mortis and Count make.
Not as good.
Yeah, in the same way that, like, I don't know a comparison. In the same way that Modern Warfare 2 isn't as good as Modern Warfare 1. I don't know. It's
in the same
like,
way that Return of the Jedi
but
isn't as good as Empire Strikes Back. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even believe that. But
Sorry, after in the chat. I get that. I mostly understand the references, mostly.
Aliens is the Evil Dead 2 of the Aliens franchise.
I like Evil Dead 1 more.
Yeah, I know.
I always have.
There is no better. Army of Dark. Well, is Resurrection the Army of Darkness?
Might be.
Because it sure as fuck is an Alien 3.
No. It just doesn't well, we're going to make the Army of Darkness of Aliens.
Okay. Sorry, go on, Slushie.
I just really like the smaller scale of Alien compared to Aliens.
Right.
I think the Xenomorph, which apparently you can't call them all Xenomorphs. This is new to me. I don't know. I don't know. Count was getting on our ass about calling the aliens. I don't think
he was getting on our ass.
Oh, I wasn't. I
think he was quoting some internet shit.
Yeah, the internet.
Yeah. I thought there being one alien was really cool. It like felt kind of like a slasher film, but wasn't corny like many slasher films are.
Excuse me?
Corny isn't bad. One of my favorite films is Street Fighter the movie. Corny isn't bad. I'm just saying it had a different vibe. It like felt like an actual.
No, go ahead. I'm just teasing you.
I know. I don't know. They're both really good. I just prefer Alien, I think, because Alien felt much more personal.
Yeah. Let's talk about that, I guess. I'll I'll direct the discussion because I'm the host. Some note. I didn't take a lot of notes. Count didn't take any notes.
No notes this week, folks. Can you tell?
One of the notes I took.
So.
You never take notes? Shit.
Not really.
My first time not taking notes. And what episode is this? 14. So I went 13 episodes of notes.
So, Slushie said Alien is basically a slasher movie. A thing that I noted is like, if this was a normal movie, like if Alien was just a normal ass movie, the movie would like focus on Ripley a lot, like in the early parts. Like it doesn't focus on any of the characters at all. Like it jumps around all of them. Like there's no, a first time viewer would not really have any idea like who the final girl is going to be, which is interesting. Like if it was a normal movie, there'd be all this like close-ups of Ripley like looking at photos and sighing and shit, right? Which is how Aliens starts. So
yeah,
by that point, she's the protagonist.
But I just thought that was interesting. But like,
I love movies like that. That's why I love The Evil Dead. I mean, because you don't know Ash is the final person until it happens.
You do if if you have external knowledge, you will. I don't know.
Because it's like mostly Scotty, but we're not here to talk about The Evil Dead.
Count did watch Evil Dead this week.
I did watch it this week. That's why it's in my head so much.
Slushie and I were like falling asleep. So
yeah, because there were a few younger viewers who had never seen it, and they really enjoyed it.
You're doing a service. Yeah, like there's elements in this that I feel like I've never thought about before, that are just like horror movie things. Like, why is Jonesy on the ship? Like, the only reason that there's a cat in the movie is so there can be like a fake horror movie cat jump scare a couple times. Yeah. Like, at the end when she goes in the closet, it's just like Halloween, like to hide from the alien /
Absolutely.
What's his fucking name? Michael Myers.
Michael Myers.
Like, when did this came out in 79?
I think that's
when did Halloween?
78 might have been.
Yeah,
Halloween.
78. So I think it's like definitely informed by
Halloween. It was really 79?
Yeah.
God damn. It looks really fucking good for a 70s movie.
You gotta watch more 70s movies, Slushie. Plenty of them look good. Plenty of them look like shit, but there's
a little movie called Star Wars you might have heard of.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You ever seen Star Wars?
I have.
But yes, the effects, the miniatures, the sets, Slushie mentioned, like, just fucking impeccable. They're so good. I think I
love the retro futurism.
I think this movie has like better effects and sets than Aliens did. Like, Aliens had a much broader scale, right? Like, this is a very tiny movie.
Because this just has the ship, the alien ship, and then you have like the cruise ship.
Yeah.
But they do look better. They look properly lived in and everything.
It's impeccable. Like, this movie looks perfect. It's good. Very good.
And you could play video games on those monitors and you won't have any lag.
Right, yeah. I think, like...
It's too bad they didn't have video games back then.
I think, like, the one FX thing where Aliens is better than Alien is, like, the alien themselves, right? Like, the alien in Alien is kind of obviously just a dude in a suit. A suit, a big chap.
A big chap in a suit.
But like Stan Winston was not involved with Alien, right?
He wasn't, but he did design the Queen for Aliens,
Right.
and then he did
Was
a
involved with-
Pumpkinhead.
Yeah. We'll have to watch
Did he do
that.
the Acha as well, the Predator?
I think, yeah. I like.
He might have done the original Predator, where it's like a weird spindly bug thing.
I don't know. I mean, I assume that he did the Predator that they kept because it's good. He probably didn't do the Predator that they didn't keep.
Yeah, he did the one that they kept. Okay, it's possible he did both, but I know that now I looked it up that he definitely did our iconic Predator.
Let me just bring up a quick image of this. The original Predator was gonna look really stupid. Is what Ken was talking about.
Right. It was gonna be Jean-Claude Van Damme.
It was gonna be Jean-Claude Van Damme in the suit for some reason.
Sam Winston also worked on the first Iron Man movie, so there you go. And The Thing.
Yeah, like everything with good special effects that David Allen didn't work on.
Pretty much.
Let's see.
Did you know that there's a xenomorph Nendoroid count?
But it's horrifying. It is.
So, what do you think? What do you think about the aliens, the xenomorphs?
Morris, did you say which one you prefer, Alien or Aliens?
That's a difficult question.
Yeah, I have a hard time, but I think I'll say Aliens.
I guess I'll talk about. I've watched. I think this was probably maybe my 6th time watching Alien, the original.
I think I said it was my 4th.
I've probably seen Aliens 30 times. It was like when I was in high school, it was a big like, let's come home from school, put on Aliens. Like fuck it, what else is going on?
Hell yeah!
And you know, me and Count and most people I know quote Aliens constantly. I can't think of any Alien quotes that we really say.
Bonus situation, but no one really says it.
Right. There's like a part of me that is like intellectually I should say I like Alien more, but I think I do still like Aliens more.
I appreciate Alien more the older I get, because this has probably been like 10 years since I've seen it, and I definitely appreciate it more. I had said when we were starting to watch it, it was making me feel old, because watching this, you know, as a younger person, all the characters look middle-aged and old, and now it's just like, they're my peers. Like,
yeah,
this is what people my age look like, and it's like, oh god, I'm old.
Yeah.
So I appreciate
I'll
Alien
just
more.
be the smart one.
Yeah.
Plus, you are the smart one. There you go.
Just like with Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2, too funny. It's too funny.
Too funny. Shouldn't be funny.
Takes you out of it. But like, yeah,
I want to just clarify. I didn't say that. They're making fun of somebody else.
I think it's evident.
Just, you know. Maybe there's people out there that only know us from the podcast. Maybe they don't know.
What were you saying about xenomorphs in the internet, Count? Because like these movies are just a font of internet fan. Don't want to say wank, but I'm going to say wank.
The thing with xenomorphs is that they say it as a line, and the internet says that it's just referring to aliens in general, is what they call them, unknown aliens in that world, not necessarily what they're calling this bug type of creature.
Right.
So I mean, I call him a xenomorph, of course.
Right.
And then
So-
the other thing is bug hunt, whether or not like they've actually gone and fought other hostile aliens, or does bug hunt mean like snipe hunt, where it's just like nothing?
Right. Yeah, Count is talking about Aliens, the briefing scene, where like it's open to interpretation in Aliens. Like in Alien 1, it's clear that like humans have never encountered aliens before.
Right.
And then in Aliens, which is 57 years later, it's not super clear what the intent of the script is.
The Marines talking about having sex with aliens. So,
yeah, the Arcturan Poontang.
Yeah.
Like, there's like a different race that humans have had sex with, but then it's also sort of like, it's still sort of implied that humans have never encountered
right
alien life.
So,
but
I don't know.
It's weird.
The big debate on the internet about all this.
Yeah.
Easy way to start a flame war online if you want. Like, go to a forum. And just fucking do it.
Just as an aside, Slushie
done this in the past,
Slushie
maybe.
was reading me some Star Wars Reddit fan theories last night, and like I wanted to die. Just like I don't like what was a good one. Oh yeah, like
was
why do
Leia
you-
telling the truth about Alderaan having no defenses, or was it just a desperate lie she said in the heat of the moment?
Yeah.
That's right.
I really like the one that was like, why do you think the stormtrooper didn't shoot the escape pod? What was he a rebel sympathizer? Like he says, they say in the scene why he doesn't shoot the fucking escape pod, dude. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but what if?
Serious question. Is force healing a hard power to execute, or very hard to learn, or even just not so well known lore-wise for the times of the Clone Wars? Could force healing have saved Padme from dying in childbirth?
God, the internet's a mistake.
It takes, but like, I don't know. The reason that I bring this up is because there's like, if it seems to me that if you look up anything about like the alien life cycle or like theories about alien, you will find like some forum about aliens where like some guy posts just dissertation length, posts where like he capitalizes every word because he's that type of dude. And he just like, all right, kids, pull up a chair. Today we're talking about what happened in Prometheus in that one scene. Here's my 8,000 word theory on why that might have happened in that one scene in Prometheus. It's like these movies are so rich for that type of thought. Like masturbatory thought.
But they're xenomorphs. I mean, they never say Yacha in Predator movies, and we call them that. I guess from the comics, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty
But
sure
that's something I even knew as a child. Like, oh, it's the Yacha. Like, I wasn't reading. I don't know.
that's the
Fuck
name
is
of
a Yacha?
That's the name of the predator race, the Yautja. That's what they call themselves.
Just like this is a fucking
Oh.
space jockey here behind us.
Right.
But now they call them engineers, and I want to scream at people who say that. That's what pissed me off the most about Prometheus, is that right there.
So you haven't seen Prometheus? Count.
Oh, I saw it in theaters.
Oh, you saw it. I haven't seen it.
I was like, yeah,
Slushie,
I'll go
you've
see
seen it, right?
Prometheus.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh. okay.
Before we watched these
Right, you've-
films, the only alien film I had seen was Covenant.
And Coven is the one that
It's the most recent.
where they come out the back?
Most recent.
Or is it not? They go in the ear and come
I
out the
don't
back?
remember.
Covenant
And
is
they're
the
white?
newest one, right?
They're like airborne. It's strange.
Yeah, they're like spores.
Michael Fassbender was in it, I think.
It's the second Prometheus. Raptor in chat also makes a good point. It's also a suit, the space jockey. It's not a mummy. Like, I always thought that this was a fucking creature, and that's just a suit in Prometheus. And this is still a creature. I'm the type of person I can keep things separate, so in my mind, this is still the space jockey, and he's some sort of weird alien creature. He's not a fucking 8-foot tall albino man.
Where did we get Space Jockey? Is that like something that
I think
they
it's another comic
referred
thing.
to internally?
Might have
Like
been
the
that, and
special
then
effects guys, like, yeah, that's the Space Jockey.
that's probably it. I know it was also in the comics at some point.
Yeah. But we always called these big alien the space jockey. Now, yeah. Now I guess they have a canon name. I'm not.
Now they're the engineers.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not interested in seeing Prometheus because I don't know. Like, in spite of a lifelong love affair with the art and design of these movies, it's like I just don't care about the lore. You know?
No, I don't either. More lore is bad. Most of the time, more lore is bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like an example where it's like, oh, I wonder what that was about in a movie. Then it gets expanded on and it's actually good. Never. Very rarely.
Retro Puppet Master? A little movie called remember that one?
Yeah.
A little movie called Puppet Master Dr. Death.
The Puppet Master series is what you get when someone really tries to adhere to continuity. Even though despite the years are wrong, they do try and maintain something, and it's just a fucking mess.
I'm an Elder Scrolls fan, so maybe I'm just fucked in the head. But I like when there's a lot of really ridiculous lore, and I like when the lore is contradictory constantly. It just makes it, I don't know.
Well, it's something like
It just
Elder
makes it
Scrolls.
fun
It's
for
like
me.
built in. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
with something like
Sure.
Prometheus, it's like somebody going back 30, 40 years later and like writing justification for shit that never needed it. I don't know.
You're right.
Also, Slushie, you don't seem to complain about too many contradictions. The people who love lore most of the time get mad if something contradicts each other.
Well, no, yeah, I just mean like I do like it when it's fucked up and weird. It makes it fun to think about and like talk about with friends, but I would never go into a random on like internet forum and try
Right.
and talk to people about that kind of shit.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
just know
That just seems like a recipe for a
I
disaster.
saw Prometheus. I thought it was kind of masturbatory, as Morris had said before offline. It's just too much of an expansion of something that doesn't need it. And then I saw with a group of people, some of them were my close friends and some were acquaintances. And one of the acquaintances then referred to like the space jockeys as engineers after that. And every time we would discuss the movie from then on, I'm like, it's a fucking space jockey. Stop saying an engineer. I'm going to scream.
They're like
Well,
they're like
engineers now.
God or something. They made
Yeah,
the
I'm like,
universe
come on.
or something. I don't know.
Like they were space jockeys for like 4 decades. Don't take this away from me.
You can have it.
Thank
You're
you.
valid.
Well, it's still a space jockey in this. I'm not going to call it a fucking engineer. The engineer an alien? No, get out of here. I was also pissed in the movie when it was just revealed to be a dude, not like a fucked up creature. Whatever. It's not great. But it's not great. Everyone complains about the rolling wheel and shit like that. Like, whatever. That's not... I don't care about that.
Why'd they put their hand in the goo?
Right, or the goo, or why they took their helmets off. Yeah, that's all stupid, but that's not why it's bad. It's just not an entertaining movie. It kind of is too confusing. I will admit that. It is like the goo to worm to face hugger to weird alien. Like all that is kind of weird, but it's just not entertaining. I don't like it.
On that note, he reminded me while we were watching Aliens, I was saying like it is pathetic how Avatar is just aliens, like the colonial marines parts of Aliens, and just worse in every way. Like,
And I refuse to watch it.
had you seen Avatar, Slushie?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you
Yeah,
agree with like
I know
like,
exactly
they got
100%.
like all the hardware is like exactly the same. The behavior of the Marines is exactly the same. Like they there's a
James
fucking
Cameron.
power loader in it again. It's just like like what if I made Aliens again, but like had this stupid white savior shit in it? Like what is and like limp dick fucking environmental message. What if I did that?
The one cool thing about Avatar is that the evil soldier man who fights with Jake Sully and the girl whose name I've forgotten at the end, he is driving his power loader thing and he pulls out a big Bowie knife that is power loader sized, and it's really cool. And like that would be an awesome toy to have if
That's
it
a little
came
cool.
out 20 years prior.
Right.
It would be the coolest thing in the world if it came out like in a 90s cartoon. But in Avatar, it just kind of sucks.
So
but it's really funny.
That's a good segue. A big part of my Aliens fandom was the Kenner Aliens toys. So neither. I mean, Slushie, you wouldn't have. I guess you're the same age, right? So probably neither of you really experienced these much.
No. I had one of the like colored Predators, but that's it.
Right. Yeah, those were a few years into the line. This was such a weird thing. Like, I guess they were going to make a cartoon called Operation Aliens. Famous, 80s thing of making kids shit out of R-rated movies.
Mm-hmm.
But they, for whatever reason, didn't make the cartoon. There seems to be some YouTube videos about the conspiracy around this. I haven't watched them, but I saw them in Google image search. But
they made the cartoon, but then didn't release it for a tax break.
Are you making that up?
It exists somewhere?
Or is that just a little? That's just a little current event.
It's yeah.
Right.
That happened again.
What do you mean?
Or are you making a reference to how it just happened again?
Yeah, I'm making a reference to Batgirl.
Are you Bad Girl?
Oh, I'm not talking about Batgirl. I'm talking about there's an Alien versus Predator anime that it's complete. I think it's like 13 episodes, and Netflix refuses to release it.
And Netflix financed it?
Yeah, and then they canceled as a tax break.
Huh. Probably bad. It's probably got triangle shadows on the head. Anyway, these are
Netflix. I could be wrong on the company, but it was recent and it was a streaming platform. And they're like, "Well,
why hasn't anyone made a Castlevania movie?"
Because we just got a shitty cartoon instead.
Aren't they talking about it?
Good. Are they?
It was like in development.
I feel like it's something that's been mentioned. I don't know. Anyway, these toys are very cool.
I guess the Castlevania movie is just all the Universal Monster movies.
It'd be cool. Have them all together.
Let's just use Mid-Journey to have Simon Belmont walk into Frankenstein and whip Frankenstein.
Don't get me started.
It's coming.
I saw every so often when I'm bored, I watch YouTube shorts because there's some incredibly confusing and strange things in there. And I saw one that was like Chrono Trigger in real life, and it was all just Mid-Journey shit, and it looked so fucking bad, but it had so many likes.
That's weird.
I don't get it. Yeah,
I kind of want to see
really
that now.
Weird. I'll see if I can find it again.
But like this was a great toy line. It's currently being referenced a lot by NECA. Like NECA is remaking a lot of the concepts and shit from the toy line, which NECA. So
right,
it'll break in the package, but it's just good. It was easy to be an Aliens fan in the 90s.
They always looked like great toys.
They had a lot of play value. The aliens blew apart and shit. The gorilla alien spat water.
Things were chunky back then, and you could clash them together without them breaking like NECA.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the alien life cycle?
Egg, face hugger, alien?
Right. I mean, just it's interesting, right? Like, when's the last time anyone came up with something like that for a movie?
Oh yeah, it's I like it. It's very unique for a monster movie.
Like the toys
movies in general.
The Kenner toys, and I think Alien 3 kind of introduced the concept of the alien itself being influenced by what it was implanted in.
Right, because you have the dog alien.
Yeah, the dog burster. Some people don't like to hear me say dog burster.
I'm okay with it.
Cyraptor hates it. But like the alien toys, there was like scorpion alien, gorilla alien, snake alien. So like the idea of the aliens impregnating like whatever local life and then, getting a different xenomorph.
I feel like
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it is. And it makes sense. And you can't even understand that with just these two movies that would happen.
Right. Because they're basically different aliens. But yeah, you don't really see it in the movies outside of Alien 3.
No. Well,
Oh, I'm excited to watch
no.
Alien 3 then.
You got the Pred alien.
Is that an AVP? Did they do
Yeah.
that eventually? Because I think that concept came from the video games.
That sounds right. It's at the end of the first AVP, and then it's throughout the second one.
Pred alien.
Yeah, you got the little Pred alien.
It's a good name.
I don't think it is.
I mean, what else are you gonna call
hate
it?
the
Right?
name.
Yeah. What
I
else?
just think it's
Yam
funny to say.
alien. What are they called?
Yachts.
Yacht Jalian.
Yacht
You
alien.
can call it a Predomorph.
There you go. That's not bad. That sounds kind of good.
I think Pred alien is better.
Okay, Slushie.
Just looking at my notes here. I think. Let me know if you're with me on this, but like, I feel like once the character stuff in Alien drops off and they get to like the vent hunting sequence, it's very easy for me to like walk away and do something else in that part of the movie.
I did.
You did.
Really?
Yeah, but
I did too, and I have in the
I had
past.
to take care of something for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then
I guess you've seen it before.
yeah. I didn't want to,
was-
but I had to.
I was fucking enraptured for this entire film. I couldn't look away.
Well, you're gonna lose that, so get used to it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like
like I missed seeing the captain die in Alien this time.
Dallas.
Yeah.
I feel like once the character stuff sort of falls away, it doesn't super hold up to repeat viewing. I don't know.
It's the best part is seeing them all, a big ship full of people.
Yeah, everybody
and weirdos.
interacting and like just all the stuff happening is like much more interesting to me now, having seen the movie several times, than the hunting the alien part, which just feels kind of rote, I guess. But
Do you think
weird
that
criticism, but it's the only one I can really.
I mean,
level at
it's still, this is a top tier amazing movie.
Yeah.
But
Do you
this is
think
from
that room with
repeat
that
viewings.
circular table is in Tabletop Sim as a background?
I wouldn't be super surprised. I was trying to see if there was the canteen you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if there was like a frame from the movie that was just that empty that we could use for the podcast, but like I did see that people have made that room in particular in like 3D models about 1 million times, like on artstation.com
It might be
and
in
stuff.
Isolation, as Cyraptor just said.
Yeah, so maybe you could get a 3D photo of it that way. It's a good room. I mean, all the rooms are good, but
Yeah. It just seems like a great room to like hang out in real life. I would hang out at that table with you guys and record this podcast.
I'd be a little scared that I'd explode from the belly. You know,
As long as nothing grabbed your face and injected.
How much
shit into
share
your
of the
throat, you'd
profits
be
do I
fine.
get from this?
You get what you signed up for.
Yeah.
if you don't eat
Which
at
in
the
this-
table, you forfeit your shares.
Okay.
Like, man, the cast in Alien is good. The cast in Aliens is good.
Yeah,
Cast
great.
them both.
Great
Phenomenal.
they
cast.
both are.
Loaded casts in both these movies.
I want to say, in regards to aliens, I think Burke was like one of the most believable villains I've ever seen in anything.
He was good, yeah. I was I don't know that I'd say believable, but I just like watching it last night, I was thinking to myself, like, damn, maybe believable is good.
Why you say believable? As far as like his acting, or as far as him being a capitalist piece of shit?
It's just his motivations and his behavior and like his sleaziness.
Him willing to commit horrible atrocities for some money.
And he's like, he wasn't even that good about like lying when they were confronting him about it. This is crazy. It's pathetic, really.
Yeah.
It is. I have like really never been able to take Paul Reiser seriously on Mad About You or whatever.
Yeah.
What a bad show that is, huh?
It's a pretty terrible show.
Just boring.
He's the most believable character in Whiplash as well.
I didn't have cable as a child, and Mad About You would be like, and I also had like horrible insomnia, so it'd be the only thing on at like 1 a.m. Hated it.
Nobody ever talks about the sitcoms that I watched. It feels like I know there are a
What
lot of
did you
sitcoms,
watch?
but
What did you watch, Slushie? Was it on cable or what?
I don't remember. But like Spin City and Who's the Boss were the shows I watched.
I've seen Spin City.
Who's the Boss is from like the early 80s, isn't it?
Yeah, but it was like in
in
syndication.
Huh.
Yeah, and it just came on after Spin City, which at the time was also in reruns. I didn't watch anything but cartoons until I was like 14 or 15.
Spin City had Michael J. Fox, star of Back to the Future, one of the best 80s movies you could watch. So.
And then his Parkinson's got bad, and he had to stop showing up as much, and he got replaced by Charlie Sheen, and that's when the show just went
that's sad.
super downhill.
I don't want to make fun of Michael J. Fox.
I'm not making fun of him.
I was making a joke,
facts.
so I'm not trying to like tie that into his condition. That's all.
Oh, well, I don't know. He's still kicking. He's hanging out. He's going to fucking conventions and doing talks and shit.
He's lovable.
Did they ever figure out who the boss was?
Seems like a great guy. I think it was Tony Danza, but I didn't see.
It's like the little girl's the boss.
The very last episode, they all get together and they're like, "Okay, we need to figure this out. Who is the boss?" And
that's
they all
a bit
draw
on Community.
straws. I've never seen Community, but it seems like something I really wouldn't like.
I don't know.
A lot of people.
If you don't understand
Community.
the references, you might not like it.
A lot of people younger than me like Community.
I think I watched it as it went on. I'm going to go on this tangent because we don't have a lot to talk about. So
sure,
feel free.
Came out 2009, September 2009. That's when I started college, and I was at a community college, and it was just like that first season is pretty grounded, and it felt very true to life at what I was experiencing. So I was pretty hooked into it. The first like 3 seasons are pretty fucking good. It's kind of where I'm going with it, and I just think I think you have to be that age. So to go back and watch it now, I don't think would have the same effect on me had I not seen it.
The main issue with it for me is that, like Futurama,
Are you going to say you don't like Futurama?
I don't dislike Futurama. I don't go out of my way to watch it. I do think it's good, but there are negative connotations because I was and am on Reddit mainly just to look at funny videos when I'm bored on the toilet or whatever. Because Twitter's not good for that anymore. And Futurama and Community and Always Sunny and shows like that and Seinfeld are just so heavily associated with Reddit in my mind. And it sucks. Because, like,
well, I don't go on Reddit, so
good. You
should have that problem.
You shouldn't.
But now
It's
it makes
just
me
like-
sad because I got that Bender emote, and you're probably like, you're thinking about Reddit every time I have Bender dancing.
A little bit, yeah. Like, it's not your fault.
God.
But it's just like if you ever go into the comments on Reddit and someone like references something that is relevant to the post and they like make a joke reference to something else, the entire chain of comments is just going to be people quoting the thing that reference is from. And it sucks so much. It
sounds
stops
terrible.
becoming relevant. It's just like, I know that thing too. Here's another thing. It is the fucking Captain America. I got that reference in human form
I just hate
all
their-
the time.
I mean, that sounds awful, but I also just hate their layout on like how they do comments. Like you click something and then it takes you another page and you have to go back. And
Well, have you ever
I don't like it.
not to spare Reddit any criticism, but have you ever like played Warhammer at a game store?
No, I've
'Cause
walked in the
certainly
game
have.
stores and they look at me like I'm like from Mars.
if you play like a card game or a board game at a game store and like something happens with like, I don't know, a decapitation or something, somebody go, "Oh, your arm's off. Oh, it's only a flesh wound." And then the whole room will be like, "It's only a flesh wound. It's only a flesh wound. Ah, we are the knights who say knee, knee." You know, like that happens in real life too, is what I'm saying.
And you know what? I'll defend that in real life.
You
If
will?
you're like feeling the energy of like a moment, maybe, and you're with a group of friends,
Right.
But like if you're doing that with strangers and you're actually typing it out online, it's fucking stupid.
Right. Well,
There's a difference between it being in the moment and no one's recording it. You know, for you to get like internet brownie points, where it's like you're all just having a little moment. You know.
the idea of no one recording it is really funny. Like, yeah.
Yeah. It's not meant to be etched in stone.
Like, this is, yeah, people just lack awareness that, oh, like, maybe we shouldn't act like dipshits because this is going to come up when somebody, like, searches for something on Google and we're all,
Right.
like, they're going to find this.
The only way I
Forever.
ever even go to Reddit if I'm looking for a problem or troubleshooting or just like a torrent or something, and that's the only site that pops up is, then I'll click the Reddit link.
I will say Reddit is very good for tech support because you search something and you can't find it, and then you just add Reddit to your search and the answer is going to be like right there in the first result. And
It is, unless it says, "Oh, it's answered in our stickied post," and then you click that and it's not answered there.
right,
And then I'm
that
like,
does happen sometimes.
well, okay, I guess I'm done.
So, aliens.
That's our complaint about Reddit moment.
Yeah.
The Reddit minute.
Anyway, yeah. I was going somewhere with Community. Real quick, they do an episode that's a tribute to aliens, and it's pretty good. That's all.
Oh, yeah. A lot of things do, right?
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop did one for Alien.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I forgot. Yeah, that's kind of, I think that's what I was thinking of. I forgot about that.
They did?
Yeah. It's like that, the food, right? Like they have
Yes,
that.
the fridge one.
Yeah, the
Oh,
thing
right.
in the fridge
Okay. Yeah.
that makes them sick.
Yeah.
And then it's like alive.
And then that too, that's like, oh man, now we're going fucking. In Cowboy Bebop, are there aliens? Because that seemed like to be the only kind of alien they encounter in that show.
I don't know.
Well, they're primarily like on Mars for the majority of that series.
Right, and then they encounter
they're
that
not
weird
really planet
creature.
hopping. Yeah.
Yeah, but they
don't-
have space gates, you know. They
Right.
could planet hop. I don't know that they really address it.
Something to consider.
Speaking of shit getting pulled, like, did Netflix ever pull Cowboy Bebop?
No, but they canceled the second season.
Yeah. I
Like
know
after teasing it and stuff.
Was it good, Slushie?
I haven't watched it.
Oh, you didn't at all?
No.
I watched the
don't
first episode.
really-
It's rough. It's really
I
stupid.
don't- Yeah, something like that I wouldn't want to watch.
It
by
looked
myself.
really woke, so I'm staying far away.
Yeah, we're joking, folks. If you are unaware, another woke thing is Double Dragon Gaiden.
Sure is. I don't know why.
So,
I've never-
Slushie, you were
Nobody knows why. The people complaining about it don't know why.
saying there's no Alien games until Alien 3, which is categorically wrong.
Yeah, you're right. I
There's-
didn't know.
There's an
Really
Alien,
wrong,
there's an
yeah.
Atari 2600 Alien game, which is basically
Okay, well,
Pac-Man.
does that really count?
Yes.
Yeah, it counts.
Basically Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Cool.
You're like Ridley going into vents, and you gotta like get Pac-Man pellets and
Wow, it really
Kill
is
the
just
alien.
Pac-Man, huh?
There's a Konami arcade game of Aliens, which was great at the time. There's several like computer games of Aliens.
I'm sure there's
Um,
one on the ZX.
Yeah, I think there is. Yeah, like Aliens has done so much for video games. So you were talking about Halo, Slushie.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking about Halo basically the entire time we were watching Aliens, and it is very clear that that was the only movie they had at Bungie's offices.
It's the only movie you need at Bungie's
Yeah.
offices. Like,
I guess so.
There really is
I'm
a ZX
looking-
Spectrum Alien game.
I'm looking at a poster for the Aliens Konami game, and it's really funny.
does it have the usual Konami kind of like live action? Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll put it on.
just some random woman and random child.
Konami always loves to put a hot babe on their flyer.
Speaking of children, I think Newt was the best character in Aliens. She fucking kicked ass.
I don't think she's the best character, but she's pretty good.
Yeah, she was surprisingly good. In the chat, Sire after asking, the Alien game with Robot Arm Arnold and Ninja Lady, that's Aliens vs. Predator by Capcom, which
is I think is good.
it's great, yeah. Again, NECA making figures of these characters, so if you want a major Schaefer that has really bad paint apps and looks like crap and falls apart and breaks, then you can get that.
I was gonna say if you want to pay $50 for a toy that's you're gonna sneeze on it and it falls apart.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Did they just did NECA just make really good Street Fighter 4 toys that didn't suck and didn't fall apart?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Because I had those and they were great. I had
Well,
Guile and
Slushie,
Ken.
maybe you had lower standards.
No, they were just good. They didn't break.
You
They
just
stood
know
up
your
well.
toys like Mortis and I do.
I don't know.
I don't know.
She is a babe though. Look at this lady.
More or less of a babe than Sigourney Weaver.
Oh well, Siggy she's fantastic.
Have you ever seen that Taylor Lautner Sigourney Weaver movie?
Taylor Lautner.
No.
I don't know anything. That
Taylor
you're talking
Lautner
about.
was the werewolf in Twilight.
He is Team Jacob. Abduction.
No,
It's apparently
why?
not very good, but they were both in it. I don't know.
Oh,
Alfred Molina was too.
so you were going to say like she's really hot in that one or something.
I mean, she is because she is,
Sure. But like particularly, I don't know. I thought you were going
No.
somewhere.
I wasn't going anywhere with that. It's just another movie that I know about that she's in.
Cam, have you ever read any of the novels, the Aliens novels?
No, I
The
haven't.
Dark Horse shit.
I've tried reading one of the Predator books, and I thought it was terrible. And
Do you remember which one?
I don't want to say which one.
No, say which one.
I don't remember which one, but if I did, I wouldn't want to make the.
Is it the one with the
bad.
babe on the cover?
No, it was like it was a newer one where it was like an anthology.
Oh, okay.
So there are many different authors like coming together and tell stories. I was also going to make the joke. She was in a little movie called Ghostbusters. I don't know if you've seen that.
She is, yeah. That's easy to forget. She's in Ghostbusters too, as well.
Have you read the books, Mortis?
I've read a lot.
From the comics.
Right. They're like the Dark Horse series of Aliens novels from the 90s is like, I'm pretty sure they're all pulled. They're like novelizations of comics. And I don't remember if I still own any of these. I might have got rid of all of them, but like I had probably a dozen between Alien and Predator books.
Did you like them?
I loved them. I had read and reread them. Like, I think they were probably trash, but like, you know, I was 14 through 16.
Right. I mean, that's a good age for that.
Yeah.
That's the problem too. I tried to read this Predator thing, probably maybe like when that newest Predator movie came out, and I was just like, I don't know. Like if I was the one before that, actually, The Predator. I like Prey.
Prey is great.
By the way, I thought Prey was really good. But when The Predator came out, it was too woke. I was reading some of the Predator stuff, and I was like, if I was a teenager or a tween reading this, I would love it. But at this age, I don't know. Maybe I'll like it again when I'm older. Who knows?
I was thinking, Count, I thought maybe you didn't want to say because you read the Predator book. There's a Predator book where the cover is like a predator holding a sexy babe.
Oh no!
Who's dressed up as a predator because it's like a sexy ninja babe joins the predators, and that's the whole
I've read
thing.
Those comics.
Book. Oh, you have?
Yeah. I remember them thinking they were fun.
Yeah, they're always pretty good. Yeah. But in my
this one, Mortis?
In my notes,
do the alien books
Hunter's
just focus
Planet.
on the aliens, like just on the xenomorphs?
Yes.
Okay. I keep bringing up Predator in this conversation, and I don't know if you're from the moon.
Why do we do that?
Realize how tied together that they are. Like they're just really tied together. These franchises. So,
like, I was thinking about that because if you look up, list of all aliens video games, the Wikipedia is list of all Predator and aliens video games. Like, why?
And Alien vs Predator games.
Right. Well, that would be included, obviously.
I don't know.
They're just...
Well, it's very specifically list of aliens games, list of Predator games, list of Alien vs Predator games. Like, it's all...
But it's all on the same page, is the point.
Right.
See, yeah. I have my conspiracy theory that Ridley Scott hates it, that Predator's tied to his, baby.
Yeah.
Because, he doesn't really... It's mostly the Predator side that put, in the alien skull and things like that. And,
right.
They're the ones, pulling for it. I don't think any
cause...
of the alien movies reference Predator. It's only on the other side.
That's true. Well,
what are you going to do? Make a movie from the perspective of aliens getting hunted?
No, but, you could just... something. But it's always just, the Predators.
The Predators are like that one kid who always comes around. You don't want to hang out with him, but he keeps coming around. Oh, here's the Predators again. God damn it. I guess we gotta...
I think even in Prey, they had some sort of xenomorph something.
Did they? In Prey?
I'd have to look it up, but I think I saw something.
I don't recall. Unless it was, part of the Predator's armor or something. I don't know what it would have been.
That's what I think. It was something like that.
Can I interrupt the podcast with something completely unrelated?
Please.
They finally announced Final Fantasy XIV is coming to the Xbox. I'm very excited.
That's the MMO?
Yeah.
Is just now coming to the Xbox?
Yeah.
That's a little weird.
They've been talking about it for years. Apparently, Sony has been stonewalling Microsoft with Square Enix shit a lot.
Well,
the Final Fantasy VII remake is never Well, right, but like especially Square Enix shit. Like the Final Fantasy VII remake is never coming to Xbox because Sony's paid for console exclusivity. FF16 is never coming to Xbox because they paid for console exclusivity. They're doing it with the second half of the 7 remake. There's a bunch of shit that just isn't coming to Xbox because Sony's paid a shit ton of money for it.
They had that
Which is
lawsuit about
frustrating.
that.
Yeah.
Well, that's been the Game News Minute.
Spring 2024.
If you've been on the fence about this Final Fantasy 14 thing, now could be the time.
That's the car one?
No, 15's the car one. 14's the MMO.
I don't fucking know Final Fantasy. You kidding me? I know 9.
15 is the
Rocket
one
jumped
that
off.
starts with 4 straight men pushing a car while Florence and the Machine sings Stand By Me.
So it took me a minute to realize what Cyraptor was talking about in the chat. He said, please talk about the Pizza Monster.
From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's another
Okay, they
alien reference in media, is the Pizza Monsters. They're like alien eggs that get put, they look like sausage, I think, and they get put on pizza and they hatch, and they're basically xenomorphs. But they're yellow. So just another these movies, wide-ranging influence.
You fight them in
The
Teenage
sewer
Mutant Ninja Turtles
surfing.
4 Turtles in Time sewer surfing, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Good.
that's a good game.
Can anyone name any other aliens that we've seen?
Yeah, and Contra.
Oh yeah,
Contra is
Raz in the
just
chat mentioned Contra.
intrinsically linked to Alien and Predator. Yeah, the
Trying to
ending
think
of
of
Conker's
others.
Bad Fur Day is basically the ending of Aliens, right?
Yeah,
I feel like, who played that? I saw somebody play
Gunstar.
that. Yeah.
Gunstar did recently. That game sucks ass.
You want to play
Fuck,
Conkers?
What's wrong with Conkers?
Oh, it's so bad.
Wow.
Yeah, what's wrong with Conkers?
It's like the pacing sucks ass. The jokes are barely funny. Like,
Is he funnier than Gex?
no, that's the thing.
Come on.
I've never played it. That was the
It's, you would hate it, I think.
maybe.
Would I hate it?
I don't know.
I think you'd
It's hard to
identify with
say.
Conker. Conker is basically you.
You might be.
Yeah, and there's the Aliens TC for Doom. I played this last night and Slushie watched.
What does TC mean?
So,
Total
Count, I'm
conversion.
glad you asked. Slushie said it.
Yeah, sorry. I
So,
didn't know
like-
you were gonna go into a thing.
So yeah, in 1996, Justin Fisher, was that his name? Something like that. Made a total conversion for Doom, which just like basically remade all the assets of the game. It's like an unbelievable, even to this day, an unbelievably faithful, just like transferring of Aliens to Doom. Like some of it hasn't aged that well. The level design is not that great. You spend a lot of time lost in vents. But like it's just really impressive for sorry, after saying it's from 1994. Well, okay.
And you played through it last night?
Yeah.
Was it fun again?
Yeah. It's it just has it uses a lot of interesting like engine tricks, like you walk over a specific place, and it plays like Apone saying, check those corners, stuff like that. It just like
check it out.
It effectively uses a lot of just sound clips from the film.
Every time you beat a stage, it goes, "We are leaving." It's really funny.
Yeah, I guess on two things on that note. It's not super easy to get running now. Like, people have kind of made little packages for like modern Doom things. Yeah, it was impossible. Like, I downloaded Aliens TC probably in 96 from AOL, and I didn't. It has like a dehacked component, which is the Doom, I don't know, like, way to change properties of things, and I didn't know how to load that, so like it wasn't 100% working for me, but I could still tell, like, oh, this is really cool. But it's also fucked up. Like, it's not super hard to get running now. It's possible. You can still find it and play it on GZ Doom.
Is it easier to get running than the pinball stuff?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Easier than Visual Pinball X. But on that note, I wanted to mention how like good and iconic the score and like sound stuff of Aliens is. You know? Like, wow, the score is good. It's not that...
It was really good.
It's not that, like, prevalent. Like, it's really just kind of in the APC scenes, mostly. But it has just that
you
good...
You called it out last night, and I was like, yeah, this is fucking... It really is. Like, I never thought about it too much, and it's very fitting.
And the aliens sort of... I think I heard that the aliens sort of cry was like a sped up elephant or something.
Yeah, that's your Babieff.
The hype. Babelef.wave. But and just like the prevalence in sort of nerd culture of like every clip, every voice clip from the film, you know, like every Counter-Strike server that has ever existed has a command you can hit to play game over, man. You know, and it's been in so many like small like click and play games and stuff. Like, I don't know, what is it about Aliens that
it's just so fucking good. It's so good that it trumps my like inner contrarian that wants to like hate on something that's popular, and I just embrace it instead because it's that fucking good. It's like, no, it deserves this.
Yeah. It's
because like some things become popular, then you look for any reason to hate it, you know?
Right.
And then, but like
Blade
Aliens,
Runner.
no, not like Blade Runner's. Blade Runner's not that popular.
What?
You think it's Alien status?
No,
it's like a known
probably.
movie, but I don't think it's.
I think
Alien
it's
status.
I think it's extremely normal to dislike Blade Runner, but like
That's what I'm getting at. It seems very normal that I'm just a part of the camp that doesn't like it. Didn't Blade Runner like bomb at the box office?
Probably.
Well, yeah, because they made it fucking weird. They brought Harrison Ford back in and gave him like
all I'm saying is
chicken
it's
nuggets and weed, so that
Blade Runner's not like a cultural.
Did chicken nuggets exist?
Audience.
I guess they. Probably
Just saying it's not a cultural
Probably.
phenomenon like Aliens, though, Slushie.
I know it's a different thing, but
Yeah.
like I feel like people that are really into Aliens are also very likely to be really into Blade Runner.
Not me, baby.
I don't know that.
I guess not.
There's a little bit of a Venn diagram probably, but
I love film noir and I like sci-fi. I should love Blade Runner, but whatever, it's fine.
When did you see it?
I last saw it probably like 10 years ago. This is my second viewing of it.
You probably didn't see the theatrical cut then. I don't know. I just find it confusing, I guess. It seems like something you would be insanely into, but
I don't really like It's hard for me to imagine like the particular cut being at fault here.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame the cut. I also shouldn't say I hate it. Like I don't. I just, people talk it up, and then you see it, and it's like, okay, it's a movie. That's where I kind of sit with it. It's not like I hate like I hate watching this. Like some of the fucking full moon bullshit we've had to put up with. It's not like that.
Like, I just, like, for me personally, I find just the, like, artistry of the film to be
It's beautiful. It's
stunning.
a beautiful movie.
And, like, that's really all I need, but then it also has Rutger Hauer, and it's like...
I like him.
Alright, I don't know, I think it's great.
Some movies just get their hooks into me and grip me, and it wasn't one of them. And it's a movie I let go, Aliens I'll come back to time and time again, because it's fucking Alien. It's just incredible. Evil Dead I'll come back to time and time again. The Romero trilogy, things like that really hook me and grip me. Blade Runner's just not one of them. But I don't hate it. I shouldn't keep saying I hate it, but for fun's sake and hilarity's sake, I'll say I hate it.
I should something to talk about Aliens. I should say I had some trepidation, like, am I gonna like Aliens as much as I have in the past? Because, like, I was worried about, like, the sort of oorah military element, and like, it didn't really bother me. Like, I mean, it's not.
Makes you
it's not.
list.
It's not. Well, I don't know about that, but like, movies like Bumblebee, like the Michael Bay Transformers movies, are like pro-military in a way that I cannot palate, and I think make the movies suck really bad.
I think in the case of those films, they also have a lot of military funding.
Yeah, I think they
do. They absolutely do.
But like, I'm sure there's other examples. I was worried, like, is this Aliens gonna hold up? But like, it's not. It's just a good movie that has space marines in it. It's not,
it's not really propaganda. It's just showing the camaraderie.
Yeah, they're. I don't know. It's a good film.
Have you seen Bumblebee?
Oh, that's the other thing. I saw Bumblebee in the theater. Yeah, second run Bumblebee. Theater. I didn't hate it.
Right, but you just like it, like Blade Runner.
Yeah, right.
I've only seen that first Transformers, and I want to watch the rest of them, but
I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen the first one in Bumblebee, but Avatar is the other thing I like. Avatar's sort of sickening in that regard. Like, but like the army is the bad guys also, but like they're also like not really the bad guys. I don't know. It's all. Avatar sucks, is my point, I guess.
I'm glad I haven't seen it. I refuse to budge. I'm not going to watch it.
You should see it.
All right.
Maybe not. That was easy.
Slushie told me to.
We got to do
I'm
what
not watching
Slushie
it.
says.
Not doing it.
So what else is on the... Slushie,
it's going to go to my head.
You have a list. You made a list of stuff you want to watch. And not necessarily for the podcast. Was the Thing on there? You got to put The Thing on there.
Slushie, have you not seen The Thing?
No, I haven't seen
it. I've been thinking about watching The Thing with Slushie for weeks. I know.
Make sure I'm there.
Well, you're gonna be like, "Oh, it's a winter movie. You can't watch this in the summer."
Oh, fuck you. Well, if we're gonna watch The Thing, we'll watch it.
Well, now Sire Raptor wants to see The Thing, and he's going on vacation for 3 weeks
now. But I'll watch a winter movie, sure.
I'm gonna put it. I
have my limit.
I'm gonna put it above House of the Dead and below Rumble in the Bronx.
Okay. Sounds good.
We watch like the old Thing too.
Sure. I've never seen it.
Yeah, we'll watch we'll watch the '80s Thing, and then we'll watch the new Thing.
There's a new Thing?
So
there's 3 of them.
There's The Thing from Another World from the 50s, which The Thing is like nominally a remake of. But there's also The Thing. Is it just called The Thing?
That's The Thing from
like
1982, right?
Right, I'm talking about the recent one.
Yeah, The Thing from 2011 as well.
Yeah, so they remade The Thing from the 80s, but they called it The Thing, but also it's a like stealth prequel, but it's just the same movie as I understand it, but also it's much worse.
It's also woke because it has a woman in it.
Which The Thing doesn't.
No.
Which is good.
Which is why it's like one of the best movies ever made.
We're joking. It's a joke.
And Lawrence of Arabia, folks.
Is there no women in Lawrence of Arabia?
I think there's like women in the background, but they don't speak.
Does Aliens pass the Bechdel test?
Yeah.
There's the scene where Ripley and Newt are talking, and they're talking about what a babe
They're talking
Hudson
about Newt's
is.
brother.
Shit, you're right. It doesn't. It doesn't pass the Bechdel test.
Well, it means it's not woke, and that means it's good, right?
Right. Yeah.
We cracked the code.
I'm so confused. I'm like reversing on my normal thought process, so it's too deep. Yeah. Inception. Never saw Inception. Don't want to.
It's not worth it.
That was another one I refused to budge on for years. I won't go on to the reason. I'm just going to stop there.
We just don't like Nolan here.
I don't like Nolan.
See that Oppenheimer, bro?
Oh, I don't want to.
See that Oppenheimer,
bro?
Nolan. I just want to sit in the dark and turn the lights off and watch Aliens and pretend it's 1993.
I mean, that does sound lovely.
I will say, the more I hear about the Barbie movie, the more I want to see it.
Oh, the Barbie movie I'm going to see, just not in theaters.
Yeah. I'll wait for Count to download it.
Yeah, well, Greta Gerwig is a great director, so.
What else has she done?
Let's bring up the list.
Oh, you don't know off the top of your head?
Did she do Annihilation? Was that her?
No, she didn't do Annihilation.
Who did Annihilation?
Why? I typed in Greta Gerwig and like the whole page is sparkling. I hate you, Google.
Yeah, it's doing that to
She
me
did
too.
Lady Bird. She did Little Women.
Oh, I've heard Lady Bird is good. I haven't seen it though.
And Barbie is her third movie.
Little Women, like the shit from like the 1800s?
Yes.
Except it was 2019, I think, was when she did it.
And then she wrote Frances Ha, and it was directed by her husband, and Frances Ha is really good. And she's been an actress in a bunch of stuff. She was in The House of the Devil. You ever see that?
I thought you were going to say House of the Dead.
No, House of the Devil.
Is that
It was from 2009, but it's meant to look like it was filmed in like 1982.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it.
I like that one. It's kind of slow and like not amazing, but she has a bit role in that, very tiny role, and the main girl's very cute, and she like dances around. It's a cute little movie.
Speaking of House of the Dead, Count. How many Uwe Boll movies have you seen?
Let's bring up the list.
I'd never seen any.
I think In the Name of the King, A Dungeon Siege Tale would be a great Count stream film.
Is it on
I think
TV?
that would go over really well.
Is it
I
on
don't
YouTube?
think so. I don't know.
We have to remain at least a little legal.
Right.
On this
it's
website.
on
Be a little legal. I think I've seen just House of the Dead. Maybe I've seen Blood Rain. And I think that's it.
The Blood Rain movies are so weird. I haven't seen the first one, but the second one takes place like in the Wild West, and then the third one is Nazis.
We'll stay away from that then. We're not doing that. His movies are bad. Why do you want to watch his movies?
Because they're fun.
Oh,
slushy and fun.
Slushy, there's good movies we could watch. Like Aliens.
I've seen so many good movies.
No, you haven't.
I have.
I haven't seen The Thing.
I've seen Street Fighter. I've seen Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. I've seen Tokyo Godfathers. I've seen Alien and Aliens. I've seen Predator 2.
I can't believe you don't like Predator 1.
It was.
I can't believe you hate Predator 1.
I don't hate
seem
it.
like you should like it.
It just wasn't for me. I don't know, but Predator 2 is great. I love that film.
That, but not Blade Runner. Okay.
It's different.
It's the same.
Blade Runner makes you think.
I don't want to think. I think too much. I think too much already.
You should read.